Welcome to Oklahoma City, home of the Thunder. This young, exciting team has been so much fun to watch all season long. But tonight, they face the pressure of an elimination game as the Lakers lead the series 3-2. Let's get set for Game 6. Welcome to a sold-out Ford Center with what many consider the loudest, most energetic crowd in the NBA. They love their Thunder, and what a season the Thunder has given them. But tonight could be the final game of this terrific season for Kevin Durant and his teammates. Here in Game 6, they trail the best-of-7 series 3-2. A Thunder victory would force a Game 7 on Sunday in Los Angeles. The winner of this series plays the winner of Utah, Denver, Phoenix, and San Antonio, already advancing to the second round. Good evening, everyone. Along with Mark Jackson and Jeff Van Gundy, Mike Breen on hand, Lisa Salters with us as well. Couldn't ask for a better crowd at an NBA playoff game, and they're so excited about this Thunder team that has exceeded expectations all season long. And they've been terrific in this series, but they got hammered, Jeff, in Game 5, and they have to bounce back. You always like to say in big games like this, your star players have to play like stars. That means Kevin Durant, Russell Westbrook have to come to play.
Well, for Durant and Westbrook to be efficient offensively tonight, the Thunder have to get back to defending like they can. If they're playing against a set defense the entire night, Westbrook and Durant are too easy to guard because of the length of the Lakers. They've got to force misses, they've got to get out in transition, and they've got to attack the basket.
Meanwhile, for the Lakers, they found the perfect formula in Game 5 in the blowout victory back in Los Angeles, and that's pound the ball inside. Pau Gasol and Andrew Bynum were absolutely dominant.
Well, a simple theory. If you're the two best big guys in a series, act like it and give Gasol and Bynum a lot of credit. They certainly stepped up on both ends of the floor and dominated the paint area, whether it be rebounding or scoring in the interior. Outstanding job, and if the Lakers are to win tonight, it's going to have to be some of the same stuff.
Let's take a look at tonight's starting lineups. Brought to you by Hertz. And for the visitors, of course, Kobe Bryant, last two games, 13 points and 12 points. Gasol and Bynum certainly making up the slack in Game 5. Derek Fisher starting to shoot the ball well. Artest has been very strong defensively for the Lakers. And for the Oklahoma City Thunder, we talked about Westbrook and Durant. Both Green and Sefolosha are shooting under 30% for the series. They don't need huge games, but they certainly need to be more efficient. As we're set to go for the opening tip in a series that has seen the home team win all 5 games, as they'll jump it up again. In fact, the last 2 games, Game 5, a blowout for the Lakers in LA. Game 4, a blowout for the Thunder here in Oklahoma City.
Mike, there are very few series over the course of the NBA where it's just been win at home and advance. At some point in most series, you have to win on the road.
Gasol's first shot way off the mark. Maynard Kristich the rebound. Again, this crowd should certainly fire up the Thunder early. Durant's first shot misses. They won't sit until the Thunder score their first bucket. Everybody compares it to a great college crowd. It's one of the best NBA playoff crowds you could imagine. Bryant's first shot blocked by Sefolosha. And you mentioned defense, Jeff. During the regular season and here in this playoffs, for the most part, they're one of the best defensive teams in the NBA.
Without question. They play a great team concept. They help, they keep the ball out of the paint, and that ignites their transition game.
Kristich left open, gets it to go for the first bucket. And Mark, we see Russell Westbrook guarded by Kobe Bryant. Once again, it was effective in Game 5. How much of an impact did it have on Westbrook?
Well, I don't think much at all. Give Kobe Bryant credit as Fisher misses the jump shot. He paid attention to detail and forced Westbrook to beat him from the perimeter, not allowing him to get into the paint.
Westbrook from the perimeter there, off the mark. And for Oklahoma City, a key is the start. In 3 of the 5 games in the series, they've been down by double figures in the first quarter, including Game 5, where they trailed 10-0 and missed their first 13 shots from the field. Bryant with Cephalosha still on him. Gets inside and gets it to go. Bryant only took 9 field goal attempts in the last game and only 10 in the game before. Durant with Artest guarding him. Durant turns, shoots off the mark, out of bounds, Laker ball. Durant is averaging almost 25 a game, but he's only shooting 38%. How good has Artest's defense been?
He's been very good. A lot better than I thought he would be against Kevin Durant, because this is not the old Ron Artest. This is a guy with a lot of miles on his body, but he has done an outstanding job of defending Kevin Durant, keeping a body on him. I think they're doing a poor job not allowing him to move without the basketball.
Tough to stop Bynum when he gets it in that deep.
They did a good job bringing the ball back out high to form a triangle and then catch in the paint. Those paint catches are impossible to guard.
Durant draws the foul. Derek Fisher gets called for the block. And Durant, who's been shooting and making 8 free throws a game in this series, will go for the first 2. Kevin Durant, talking to him earlier today, said the game plan for Game 6, stick to our concepts. Play hard and share the ball. That's what they've talked about all season long.
And you can tell early on, Coach, the game plan also is pushing the ball off and missed shots. They're doing a great job of pushing the ball, getting the ball in the hands of Westbrook, and they're off to the races. That's when they're going to get their best offense.
Without question, you allow Gasol and Bynum, 2 7-footers, to clog the paint, and then you have Artest, Bryant, and Fisher defending hard. It's going to be hard in the half court to get quality shots.
Gasol on the drive, kicks it out to Fisher. Artest finally found the stroke from three-point land in Game 5. He was miserable the first 4 games, but again, his defense has been excellent. Bynum, little spin move and the soft touch from Andrew Bynum. When you consider he missed the last 13 games of the regular season with that left Achilles strain, he's been very, very strong in coming out in the playoffs.
Great hands, can finish at the rim, and then feels extremely comfortable on the block, catching and making plays.
Green, the drive, can't finish, but Kristich right there. He misses the layup. And Bynum the rebound. 2 shots from point-blank range. Bryant, jump shot. Knocked away by Bynum and picked up by Westbrook. Durant blocked from behind by Artest. And Thunder ball.
And Mike, the last possession by the Lakers, I think Gasol, as he trailed in, should be screening on the ball for Bryant more. I think the Bryant-Gasol pick and roll is nearly impossible to guard when you surround him with shooters and another big guy like Bynum. I don't think they do that quite enough.
Durant, that one halfway down, in and out. And the Thunder, right now, have been the worst shooting team in the playoffs thus far, are 1 of 8 from the field. Bryant to Gasol. That basket will not count. A foul on the pass. It goes against Cephalosha. You know, we talk so much about the Thunder defense, but the Laker defense, that's a big part of why they won 57 games, and their defense has been outstanding at times in the series.
And to me, the reason why their defense has been outstanding is in this series, their best defense is their offense. When they're patient on the offensive end, that's when they're able to get back in transition and have the initial line of their defense.
Bryant goes right at Kristich, Bynum the rebound, throws it back up to Salkant, and it's tipped in. There's too much size for the Lakers.
Well, especially when there's penetration. So Kobe Bryant misses the shot, but that penetration, as the bigs for Oklahoma had to come to help, ignited the second shot.
Green can't connect. Green, who's had such a fine season, shooting just 29% from the field in this series. Pass kicked, so the Lakers will take it out of bounds.
Well, the drive by Bryant off the pick and roll with Gasol leads to help, which leads to 2 7-footers playing volleyball with the ball really, to me, in the cylinder, and could have been basket interference.
Artest Bryant the extra pass. Fisher for three. That's good. Derek Fisher struggled the first couple of games, but is starting to find his shot. And once again, an early lead for the Lakers. Scott Brooks calling a timeout.
See good ball movement by the Lakers. Great job of unselfish play. Derek Fisher all by himself in the corner. Lakers on a 7-0 run, up 11-4 and rolling early.
Welcome back to Game 6 here in Oklahoma City. Lakers once again an early lead. As we said at the top, the home team has won every game in this first-round playoff series. Started at the Staples Center. Bynum got off to a good start. Durant in his first playoff game struggled. And Lakers won the opener 87-79. Then in Game 2, Kobe Bryant went off for 39 points. Thunder had their chances but couldn't win. And then they came back here in Game 3. Trailing by 11, halfway through the third quarter, the Thunder exploded, especially with their defense down the stretch. They got their first playoff win. And then in Game 4, the blowout victory, wire to wire, followed by the Game 5 dominance by the Lakers. And here we are in an elimination game for this young Thunder team. But Mark, all season long, they have not seemed fazed by any type of pressure. Is this a little different?
Well, this is a little different because you're playing against the world champ. You're talking about a young team that has not experienced this type of moment before. And what they have to realize is they got to get some stops and then get some easy baskets to make life easier for them offensively.
Durant too strong. Gasol already with 6 rebounds. Durant 0 for 5 to start. The Thunder 1 for 10.
That was a very well executed out of timeout play. And for Oklahoma City to win, Durant's got to knock those shots down.
Bryant falling away. Tough shot. Won't go, but he got hit. And Kobe Bryant will shoot 2 free throws.
Well, you can't execute much better than this. They ran a decoy pick and roll. Got Durant right at 17 feet. No one in front of him. Those are the shots Kevin Durant can make and has to make.
Sepulosha picks up his second foul, so he'll come out as Nick Collison's going to come in. Bryant to the free throw line. The last 3 games he's taken 9 total free throws. Has not been getting to the line, doing a lot more passing. Again, 12 and 13 each of the last 2. Those are the free throw numbers. In fact, the last game he had more assists than field goals. There's no question, you guys have talked about this not only in the playoffs, regular season. He is not 100%, you can tell.
Well, he's not. You can't make an excuse for it also, because here's a guy that he's destroyed guys that wasn't 100% at times. So in all fairness, it all balances out. But give him credit. I believe what he's doing is waiting for the moment. There's going to be times during the course of this postseason where he's going to have to carry this team. He is reading it, measuring it, and allowing other guys to win ball games until that moment comes.
Never brings up the injuries, never uses it as an excuse. The knee and the finger, the 2 tough ones. Nice pass, Green to Kristich.
And this lineup for Oklahoma City with Sepulosha out forces Fisher to guard a primary scorer. So now they put him on Green. They post Green up, they double team, and that's what opened up the floor for the layup.
Artest fires away. That's a 2 from Ron Artest.
And he's played very well. And it started on the defensive end, taking the challenge, guarding arguably one of the, well, not arguably, one of the toughest matchups in basketball, and doing an outstanding job of making them work.
Green draws the foul. This is what you said, Jeff, taking advantage of that mismatch as Fisher picks up his second foul. And let's listen to what Scotty Brooks huddled.
Offensively, we missed a couple easy ones. We're all right. We got that out of us. Now let's just play our basketball. Be aggressive. Be aggressive with your decisions. Keep attacking the basket. Keep attacking the basket.
You know, interestingly enough, you take a look at Phil Jackson as Lamar Odom is about to enter the ball game. And coming into the ball game, matching up, going big also. So Derek Fisher exits the ball game, and now Oklahoma City has a big lineup that they're going to have to match up.
Look for the Lakers. You got Odom, Bynum, and Gasol. It's just impossible to match up with those 3.
What's interesting, though, for me is this is the versatility of the triangle, triple post offense. Because guys are now interchangeable, you can start to take advantage of matchup problems. So Westbrook now is guarding Artest. You can get him into the post without running a set play to him.
Also, it leads to the versatility of players. You have Artest, Odom, and Bryant, three guys that can handle the backcourt position and run the offense.
Odom in and out. Collison the rebound. Oklahoma City shooting under 40% as a team in these playoffs. Just not been consistent, although they're the best free throw shooting team in the playoffs. Kristich gets it to go. And Kristich has 6 early points. Some unexpected offense from Maynard Kristich. He can score. He's always had a nice touch for a big man. Durant's guarding Bryant. Gasol fouled, and Durant with his first. Lakers will take it out. We saw Durant guard Kobe Bryant quite a bit at the end of game 3 and really shut him down in the 4th quarter. Bryant was very complimentary on Durant's defense down the stretch of that game. And then they've since been calling Kobe Bryant Kobe Nash, with teammates teasing him because of his passing as opposed to shooting last couple of games. Collison on Gasol. Westbrook with the strip, but he reached in. First foul on Westbrook. And for Oklahoma City, it's their 14th foul. Westbrook's not saying anything, so you get the feeling he hit him. Yep. Durant didn't like the call, but Westbrook just turned and walked away.
You know, interesting thing to me, I live in LA and I watch this Laker team all year long. When you look at this lineup, I don't recall seeing this lineup on the floor all season long for Phil Jackson.
Shot block, and they're going to call a jump ball. Green block Bynum's first shot.
And what this unit doesn't have is spacing. Lamar Odom has a 3. To me, he has all of his advantages at the 4 as Gasol drives it, and a good block by Jeff Green to force the jump ball. But this LA team offensively, to me, doesn't have that spacing shooting element that they normally have with Fisher on the floor.
Green almost wins the tip. Odom rushed it, and Kristich the rebound. Kristich has been out strong with 6 points and 3 boards. Westbrook spinning in, flips it up, and banks it in. Pretty play from Russell Westbrook.
And I'll say another thing. Very rarely does Phil Jackson match up with the opponent's lineup. This is one of the few times I've ever seen him do it.
Odom for 3. Lamar Odom knocking it down. Lead back up to 6. Kristich open. Now Gasol cleaning up the boards here in the opening period. He's got 7 rebounds already, and we still have 4 minutes to play in the period. Of course, when your opponent misses so many shots, you're going to get some more. Bryant in and out. Got about 4 shots from both teams go in and out. Durant strides and draws the foul.
Now I'm taking a look at Oklahoma, and it's clear if they want to win this ball game, they're going to have to continue to get stops because that's when their offense is in full effect. Being able to push the ball off of missed shots and good things happen. When there's a chess match, they lose because they have the inability to run their half-court set effectively against this Laker defense.
Well, you think about it, Oklahoma City doesn't have a post-up threat, so they need to have transition offense. Here, Gasol makes a horrible gamble. And right there, hey, Durant's got to finish. If they want to win, Durant has got to finish. That should be a 3-point play.
And City hits a pair of free throws. Durant, an incredible free throw shooter. Led the NBA in free throws made and attempted and shot 90%. Just great numbers considering how many free throws he took. Chance of defense here at the Ford Center. Artest with Westbrook on him, falling back, can't get it to go. Green tips it, saved by Durant. Gang rebounding for Oklahoma City against this huge lineup. Durant, nice crossover. Green, that's a 3. And here comes Bryant. Durant already has a foul on him, and Bryant, nice left-hand move.
And that's the aspect of Jeff Green's game that's got to improve. That was great offense by Durant. Found the open man. He's got to be able to stick that corner 3, just like Westbrook stuck that mid-range jump shot.
And I like what Westbrook did there. Bryant daring him to be a jump shooter, gets to the foul line and takes the jump shot that he wants.
And Phil Jackson wants a timeout. And here's the first of what we expect many standing ovations for the Thunder. 21-year-old star, Kevin Durant, who had such a great regular season, led the league in shooting and led the league in scoring, shot 48%, but he's had his struggles at times, Mark, here in this series.
And there's good struggles and then there's bad struggles. You talk about how he started this ball game on the block. That's a quality look, just a missed shot. Curling on the offensive end, wide open jump shot, misses it. Continues to run off a timeout, a set, gets a wide open look again. And then in transition, this should be a three-point play. Instead, it's 2 free throws. But if you're Kevin Durant, you're getting good looks. Continue to be patient and trust your game.
And one thing he has not done, he's not let his shooting affect the rest of his game. In fact, he was talking about how one thing he's learned in the playoffs, and he's learned from watching other players and talking to other players, is that if you're not scoring, there are other ways to help your team win. He never hangs his head when he's not shooting the ball well.
Well, he has the talent, Mike, to impact the game in so many ways. He's a terrific rebounder, he's an improved passer, and he's a much improved defender. So he doesn't have to be one-dimensional. He's a multi-dimensional player.
Speaking of improved defenders, Serge Ibaka has come into the game, a terrific young player from the Congo, who's done an excellent job on Lamar Odom. As Gasol's shot won't go, tipped by Artest misses, and there's Durant, who's averaging 8 rebounds a game in this series. Westbrook again on the pull-up. Looks smooth and confident there.
And that's why what I like Westbrook said. People gave credit to Kobe Bryant and the job he did defensively. Westbrook got wide open looks, just didn't knock him down. Kobe Bryant was following the game plan. Same type of defense. The difference is Westbrook is stepping into those jump shots with confidence, understanding how you're going to defend me. You dare me to shoot the basketball, well, I'm going to step in rhythm and trust my game. Good job of executing what the defense is giving.
You see, I agree with you. That's the right shot for Westbrook. It's also the right defense by the Lakers, because you cannot withstand his attacks of the rim. You can't stop both, so you have to entice him to shoot that mid-range jump shot.
Gasol to the line. Gasol averaging just under 20 a game and 11 rebounds a game in this postseason. Puts the Lakers up by 3, 2.5 to go here in the first. Westbrook tries again. Ibaka, nice move, and banks it in. Serge Ibaka, a rookie who's getting more polished offensively. No more for his defense, but he's seen the ability to put it on the floor and knock down shots.
This guy's a player. He's not a defender. He's just a player.
Another one of this terrific young roster, the youngest team in the NBA, going up against the defending champs in the first round. Bryant misses. Ibaka the rebound. Under 2 to play here in the opening period. Inside, Collison blocked by Odom. Collison comes right back, and the Thunder regain the lead. An 8-1 run. James Harden has also come in for Oklahoma City. Gasol catches it down low.
And to me, when you front the post, you've got to take away that pass to the corner. You've got to deny it so they can't use the corner and then throw it up over the top to Gasol.
Good initial defense from Bryant. Westbrook goes right back and gets to the goal. Boy, Russell Westbrook turning it around after that subpar Game 5. He's been superb here to start Game 6.
He is in an attack mode, putting the ball on the floor, making plays, whether it be for himself via jump shot or for his teammates.
Bryant draws the foul and one. Got the contact on Collison and a chance for a three-point play.
Tough move by Bryant, sending a message. This is not just going to be the Russell Westbrook show. You guys are going to have to defend me on the other end. Talk about strength, balance, ability to take the hit and still finish in traffic.
So 2 on Collison, 2 on Cephalosha. Kristich will return for Oklahoma City. And Bryant much more aggressively looking for a shot than he did in the past 2 games. Here to start this one.
I was reading an article, and crowd noise has no impact on free throw shooting. So you're just wasting your time and energy.
How do they measure that?
I don't know, but I was reading an article.
And you're just going to take the word of the author? You kidding me? You're better than that.
Durant inside, rushed it, gets it back, lost it to Kristich. Nated Kristich with a huge first quarter. Also got fouled. He's got 8 points, 5 rebounds.
Big body, active in the interior, not just falling in love with watching his star player make a play, but pursuing the basketball. Gets the offensive board and the putback.
He's already exceeded his numbers so far in this series. He's done it here in the first quarter. He's one of the old guys on this team, 26. His 6th year out of Serbia, 2nd year with Oklahoma City. Was a very good player for the New Jersey Nets before a very bad knee injury. And he's done a solid job as their starting center. Bryant shot blocked by Durant. Bryant gets it back. Shot clock did not reset. Bryant gets inside, misses it. Gasol can't get it to go. And the Thunder will hold it for the final shot of the opening period. Westbrook pulls up. And Bryant, not a bad attempt. And that will end the first period. Kobe Bryant and Russell Westbrook getting hot starts. Bryant not shooting the ball, but Westbrook so confident after struggling in Game 5. It's an elimination game here tonight in Oklahoma City. Meanwhile, the Thunder trying to force a Game 7, which would be Sunday in L.A. First quarter complete as the Thunder have the lead.
Welcome back to Oklahoma City, where the Lakers are down by 1. Phil, you guys were up 9 in that quarter. What changed for you guys?
Well, they brought a big lineup in, and it effectively changed the game.
Russell Westbrook essentially shut down with Kobe Bryant guarding him in Game 5. 8 points for Westbrook in that quarter. What's different tonight?
I thought their screens, they had a little deeper. Yeah, the open shots from the elbows.
All right, thanks for your time, Mike.
All right, Lisa. And Russell Westbrook is not tentative. Mark, he said that he was a little tentative in Game 5. How many times do you think in his entire basketball career he ever felt that he was tentative?
I don't think often, but I think sometimes as a young player, you get caught up in the moment, trying to be too perfect and too fine. I think he's realized today, let me let my head down and play the game of basketball, the thing I know how to do best.
Eric Maynor, his backup is in there. Kristich misses. Ball battled for. Odom comes out with it. So it's Harden, Ibaka, Maynor, and then 2 starters, Kristich and Green for Oklahoma City. Jordan Farmar and Shannon Brown, plus Luke Walton out there for the Lakers with Bynum and Odom. Good entry pass from Walton, and Bynum is fouled. Let's listen to what Scotty Brooks on it.
Guys, great basketball. That's the way to start a basketball game. The intensity, that's playoff basketball. That's what we got to do for 36 more minutes. You guys are doing a terrific job.
The NBA Coach of the Year has been so positive with this young team. Demanding, but positive. That pass, or the foul on the pass, not on the shot, so they take it out of bounds. That's a 2-pointer from Shannon Brown. Lakers still trying to get some more consistent effort from their bench.
That's why I really like the huddle, the wired by Scotty Brooks. Sending a message to his guys. We're not going to knock out the champs. If we're going to beat them, we're going to decision.
Oh, Ibaka with the rejection off the glass. Brown couldn't save it. Ibaka, one of the leaders in the NBA playoffs in rejections. He had 7 in a game earlier in this series.
This is how you do it. Continue to look at the energy and hustle. Never quit on the play. Therefore, coming up with a big-time shot block.
Harden kicks it out.
See, Maynor's got to shoot the ball. 2 straight possessions where he put his team in a bad possession or position as Ibaka makes a jump hook because he's turning down shots. If you won't shoot open shots, you can't play.
Ibaka shot that one, and he's got a couple of buckets. And he's only 20 years old, Ibaka, the rookie, who played overseas for a couple of years before coming to the NBA. As Odom gets fouled, puts it in, and one. Kristich picks up his second personal.
And Mike, that's the second time they've allowed a lob pass from the corner against a front. To me, that's a great pass by Farmar. Kristich is just a little late, but you have to deny that pass to the corner so they can't triangle the ball in.
You make a great point, Coach. Everybody has got to understand what we're doing. If you're fronting, then that's a deny in the corner or it's ball pressure. And then if the lob is over the top, that weak side guy has got to find a way to come up and disrupt that pass.
Yeah, they have to. Kristich either has to steal that lob or he has to seal so that Odom doesn't have momentum to get a three-point play opportunity.
2 minutes gone by here in the second. Lakers by one. Maynard gets in the paint this time. And Odom the board. Odom leading the break. Ibaka goes for the fake. Farmar left open. Jordan Farmar can't connect. And Green takes it away from Bynum. Kristich is open. Nice pass. The fake and gets hammered by Odom. And that's the second foul on Lamar Odom. And Nate Kristich continues to have a strong start.
You know, Mike, you touched on it. Here's a guy I called his games for 3 years when he was with the Nets. He was arguably one of the best big men in basketball. On the offensive end, outstanding in pick and pop situations, had skill level, a high skill level on the block, and was a big time rebounder. He was on his way to being an elite big man in this league.
And then his third year, as he was playing so well, he had that bad ACL, tore up his knee, the left knee, missed the rest of the season and the start of the next season. And has slowly worked his way back. Actually went to Russia for a little bit and played before returning to the NBA. A reminder, amazing is being here. Season tickets for 2010-2011 on sale now. Go to NBA.com/tickets to reserve your seats. The NBA, where amazing happens. 11 points for Kristich as Brown knocks it down. 1 point Laker lead. Harden to Green. Open three. That's good. Oklahoma City with a big sigh when Green knocks it down. They really need him to start shooting the ball. His first field goal. He was just 6 of 22 from three-point range before hitting that one. Brown again. Shannon Brown. A real spark off the bench. 7 points in 6 minutes.
And at some point, you got to make the adjustment as a defender. Realize that he's knocking down shots, he's aggressive, but you have to force him to put the ball on the floor and make a play.
Here's Harden. Harden's been a different player at home than on the road in this series. This is that one. He back of the rebound, and he got hit by Farmar. And we'll have a timeout. Shannon Brown had a big playoffs last year for the Mark.
Playing pool, 3-ball corner pockets. Great minutes off the bench by Shannon Brown, knocking down the long ball. And how about Kobe? Loving the way his sub is having an impact on the ball game.
Guys. All right, Mark. Scotty Brooks is keeping an eye on that Denver-Utah series, not only because the winner of this series plays the winner of that, but because George Karl has become a very good friend. He was an assistant of Karl in Denver for 3 years and says Karl had an enormous impact on his coaching career.
He wanted me to improve as a coach, and he gave me advice. He said, Scott, I don't want you to do what normal assistants do. And he said, I want you to look at the game and look at this team as if you were the head coach. And he's, you know, the way George talks is, you know, he says a few other things with that, but he gave me a chance to really focus on being a head coach while I was an assistant, and I felt that was kind on his part.
Well, he's thinking about his former boss, as Karl finishing up his chemotherapy and dealing with the cancer. He says they've been texting back and forth and hopes he gets back in the gym, because he says nothing will make George Karl feel better than getting back in the gym. And as always, we send along our best wishes to George Karl. There you see Scotty Brooks, the coach of the year. His first team he ever coached was in the AVA, the South California Surf. That was back in 2001. So he paid his dues in the minor leagues. He said he drove the van for the team, taped the ankles. So they had some times they would drive into games and they'd get a phone call the game was canceled. That's the kind of league it was at times, but he really helped them learn how to be a coach.
And a very interesting substitution by Phil Jackson. Shannon Brown, who was rolling, gets taken out as Durant loses the ball out of bounds. And that is the hard part for role players. You're playing good, but because Kobe Bryant needs to be back in the game, and Farmar they must like in a matchup against Maynor and now Westbrook, you find yourself sitting after getting off to a very hot start.
But you give Shannon Brown a lot of credit because there are a lot of guys in this league that would be frustrated and lost the rest of the way. He's a guy that's proven to stay ready.
Farmar knocks it down. The bench for the Lakers very strong here in the second quarter. 15 points for the Laker bench.
And just as I talked about it, Farmar knocks a shot down and Fish and Brown on the bench standing up clapping.
Walton comes the other way. Walton will miss most of the year. Still trying to find his rhythm. Alley-oop to Bynum. Good defense from Kristich. And he stepped out of bounds. Just the second turnover.
Lakers getting very good play from their bench, especially the backcourt guys. Brown and Farmar aggressive, giving quality offense.
Well, and that's what the Lakers have more than the Thunder, which is shooting to surround the best players. So as Gasol put that down, Westbrook came to help. Gasol put it right on point to Farmar, and he knocked it in.
Westbrook kicks it out. Open look for Green. Way off the mark. But Kristich the rebound. Durant hits a three. His first field goal after missing his initial 7 shots. Thunder back within 1. Bryant gets inside. Again, the left hand. Approaching the midway point here in the second quarter. Nice feed inside. Ibaka blocked, but a foul. Kobe Bryant picks up his first. And Serge Ibaka to the free throw line. One of the more interesting stories in the NBA. Scotty Brooks loves this young man. Ibaka, again, 20 years old. Grew up in the Republic of Congo. Both his mother and his father were players. They played on the national team. His father was a very good player. In fact, his father wore number 9. That's why Ibaka wears it, tribute of his dad. He started playing when he was just a little kid. He was 7 years old. Said he played every day. And at age 17, he left the family to pursue a basketball career. First France, then Spain. Was drafted by the Oklahoma City Thunder. First-round pick late in 2008. Played in Spain after the draft last year, and this year has come on. He's learning English. He's learning to play in the NBA, and he is an exciting young player.
And this is going to be a big summer for him because he can make the jump from good to outstanding. With hard work, and from him, I hang around this place the entire offseason to get better.
Well, to me, he can make the jump. He can handle bigger minutes. He could be a starting caliber player.
He's playing 6 more minutes a game in the playoffs than he did in the regular season as Kristich knocks it out of bounds. And we'll have a timeout. Nenad Kristich, the leading scorer in the game. He has 11.
And this is the second drive, the running left-hand hook by Bryant, his second made left-hand layup. Lakers up 2.
The 2010 NBA playoffs continue. Our NBA calendar tomorrow on TNT. Game 1. Conference semifinals in the East. The Celtics and Cavs from Cleveland. And on Sunday, there'll definitely be one Game 7. Milwaukee playing at Atlanta. Hawks winning earlier tonight. And we'll either have Game 7 of this series or Game 1 The Western Conference semifinal, Cleveland and Boston continue next Friday on ESPN with Game 3, same as Phoenix and San Antonio. Meanwhile, the surprise leading scorer for the Oklahoma City Thunder, Nate Kristich.
Stepping up to the challenge. You had to match the level of play of the Laker bigs, and certainly Kristich has done that. Knocking down the jump shot to start the ball game, moving without the basketball, and then attacking the offensive boards, pursuing the ball, hustle, the basket, and the foul. Great start for Kristich.
Kristich grew up in Serbia, the same hometown as Vlade Divac. How about Divac? He just got to be named the president of his country's president of the Olympic Committee in Serbia.
He's probably teaching the flop as we speak right now.
He's the gold medalist in that.
Shot clock down to 5. Gasol out to Fisher. Open 3. Knocks it down. Derek Fisher with 6 points.
And those are shots that the Thunder are willing to give up. I would rather see in that position there's no danger to the post guy. Let him play Gasol one-on-one off of the paint area.
Lakers 5 of 8 from three-point range.
And with this big lineup, Fisher is guarding Westbrook.
Oh, nice move from Durant. That's the matchup Oklahoma City likes, which you just said, Jeff.
Well, and I think Durant got going off a scramble three-point shot, and you never want to gift a great scorer a wide-open look, and that's how he got started. Now finished the drive.
Gasol, good defense from Kristich. Ball knocked out of bounds. Last touch by the Thunder. And a new 24.
And Mark, you're right. That time gave a little bit less help. Westbrook didn't turn his body and made Gasol try to take a turnaround to the baseline.
Odom couldn't hold on. Ibaka, quick outlet. Here comes Durant. Bumped by Artest and knocked to the ground. And Durant wisely threw it up at the basket, so he'll shoot free throws. Ron Artest picks up his first.
Get stops and push the basketball. Now Artest can't keep a body on Durant as a tougher matchup because he's coming full steam ahead. You put him in position to score the basketball.
Durant, again, for his size, his ability to put the ball on the floor, as he gets that free throw to hit the front of the rim and go forward. Oklahoma City back within 2. Again, they've shot free throws so well. They're tops in the playoffs thus far as a team, 83%. And tonight, as a team, they're 11 of 12. So they're not shooting the ball well again here tonight, but they're hitting their free throws, and they have just 1 turnover, and there's 4.5 to play in the second. Fisher out to Artest. 2-pointer on Artest. Ibaka with his 4th rebound. Westbrook feed to Green. Stripped down low. I think it was Odom that got a piece. Bryant kicks it out. Fisher. Gasol, nice pass to Odom. Wow, Gasol, what a pretty bounce pass.
He's ridiculously multifaceted. The ability to score in the post, to pass off the dribble.
Durant, quick catch and shoot.
Did you just say ridiculously multifaceted?
Yes.
You got too much free time, man.
Bryant. And he's fouled on his way to the basket before the shot. They're not the penalty.
And this is ridiculously multifaceted. Look away, bounce pass to a cutting Odom. Hey, you would be looking for point guards who could make that play. Not 7-foot low post destroyers.
He's got 3 assists already tonight, in addition to 10 rebounds. There's a nice pass, Bryant, to Gasol. This time the beneficiary, and the Lakers back up by 6.
He's ridiculously multifaceted.
Listen, they have won 77% of their games since they got him.
Since he's been here, they've been to 2 NBA Finals. Certainly a chance for a 3rd, and a long way to go for that. They've won a championship. He just makes winning plays.
I say ridiculously, you say multifaceted. Ridiculously, multifaceted. Ridiculously, multifaceted.
Saturday, will the Oklahoma City Thunder be traveling to LA for Game 7? Or will they be cleaning out their lockers This game 6, an elimination game. Lakers leading 3-2. Thunder, though, so tough at home. And a foul call. Fisher, or is it Artest? It's Ron Artest. That's 2 on Artest.
And if you're a small guard and you're willing to set screens, particularly in the penalty, learn how to flop and take the contact. I thought the foul was against Westbrook as he set the screen and Artest ran through it.
And clearly it was.
And if I'm Phil Jackson, I'm saying, hey, that's not Durant shooting.
Now he's up. I think he's going to say that as he strolls to half court. Durant, as we said, an incredible free throw shooter. Kenny Marrow, though, is talking to a couple of Phil Jackson's players and can't hear Jackson. he's whistling at him. Now we get his. That's exactly what he's saying, Jeff. And Durant, despite 2 of 10 from the field, has 12 points because he's been to the line 8 times.
Hey, and that's smart by Durant. You shoot 90%, go there every time.
Bryant looking. Kristich knocked it away. And they say last touch by Bryant. Thunder get it back, just the 3rd turnover by the Lakers. Under 3 to play, and Fisher with the foul, more free throws. 3 fouls on Fisher.
And I don't like that switch by Derek Fisher. That's a switch of convenience instead of a switch out of necessity. The size advantage by Durant is just too great to make that switch. Artest has just got to negotiate that screen. Here you see Westbrook setting a good solid screen, but they don't need to switch that. And good move by Durant to rip that ball over and force Fisher to foul.
Timeout here late in the 2nd quarter. Back at Oklahoma City, Lakers leading by 4. Coming up at halftime, the Toyota halftime show. We'll join Mark Jones, Jamal Mashburn, and Byron Scott. Hawks Bucks will go to game 7. Atlanta wins on the road earlier today, and the Nuggets will try and stay alive. They've got a game 6 in Utah. Fisher will sit with the 3 fouls. And Mark, what do you think's going through his head right now? Here's this guy. He's been such a terrific pro. He's got 4 rings. Getting on later in his career, he has so much pride. Yet now, people are talking about, okay, he goes up against Russell Westbrook. What an advantage for the young point guard. Look at all the young point guards. Darren Williams, Chris Paul, Derrick Rose, Tyreke Evans, the Rookie of the Year. He's got to face these guys night in and night out. And now hearing how he can't stay up with them, yet somehow he finds a way.
He's thinking what he's thought his entire career. Go out and do your job. If you go out and do your job, you put your team in position to win ball games. He's a consummate pro, and he's a guy that doesn't take it personal as far as going head-to-head against these guys. He wants to be the last one standing, and time again, he's been that guy.
And to me, he's had a maturity about him to accept his role from day one, never wanting more than he should have had.
With more on that, let's go to Lisa.
Hey, Mike. Well, I talked to Brian Shaw before the game about just that. How is Derek Fisher taking the fact that he was taken off of Russell Westbrook? And he said Derek is a professional. He knows that some guys are better suited to play other guys. He said, for example, Boston. Kobe Bryant does not play Ray Allen when they're playing the Celtics. Derek Fisher does, because Kobe can't be running off the screens that Ray Allen causes. So Derek knows that there are some situations where he's better suited to play defense on other guys.
No, what he lacks in quickness, he has in savvy and certainly experience. Russell Westbrook, just one of the latest young point guards. That foul is on Ibaka. So many terrific young point guards, and congratulations to Tyreke Evans for winning Rookie of the Year, the terrific Sacramento King guard. As Bryant misses a free throw.
Oh, well deserved, Tyreke Evans. I will go back to this, though. Derek Fisher is going to be forced to defend Westbrook in this series. I think what Kobe Bryant has allowed him to do is witness how you can most effectively defend Westbrook. So I think Fisher will have success because of the job that Bryant has done.
Bryant 1 for 2. Lakers by 3. Kobe Bryant has 12 points. Westbrook goes backdoor, deflected by Artest. Shannon Brown up and under and goes, oh, he goes down hard. Just an awkward fall for Shannon Brown as Green picks up his second. He's been a good spark off the bench.
Good job by Bryant advancing the basketball, and that's just good basketball foul. Not allowing him to have a highlight dunk, forcing him to go to the line. And I like that nobody overreacted. Not the Lakers bench, no Thunder player, no Laker player. That's good old-fashioned, hard playoff basketball.
Well, as you mentioned, part of Phil Jackson's team last year that won the championship. Let's listen to some recent huddles from both coaches.
The last 2 times we got stops. Don't worry about what we do on offense. Let's worry about what we do on defense. We are figuring it out. You're figuring it out. You're figuring it out. You're figuring it out. Keep playing. Keep playing.
Don't let this team get second shots and beat us. Come on.
Challenge yourself every time down the court. Get a stop.
The urgent messages in an elimination game. Josh Powell is checked in for LA. Kristich left open. Short. Ibaka tips it right out to Durant. Durant all the way to the basket. Can't get it to go. Rebound Ibaka. Lost it. Diving on the ball. Brown lost it. Still loose. Powell dives on it. Kristich had it, but he was out of bounds. Excellent hustle from both teams.
That's inspiring basketball across the board. I played for this guy next to me, and I know he's speechless watching that effort.
That's what you want to see. You want to see your guys want to win. If you want to win, put your face on the ground, attack the loose ball.
5 different guys diving on the floor as we're under 2 minutes remaining here in the first half. Durant on Bryant. Bryant, stutter move, kicks it out. Artest, the 3. Won't go, and Kristich, another rebound. 8 rebounds for Kristich here in the first half. Westbrook the drive, blocked by Gasol. Brown, nice pass to Powell, and Powell got pushed from behind by Durant. Crowd wanted to travel, instead Durant's second personal.
I'm watching Kobe Bryant. What I will say is he has a lot more bounce on the offensive end. He's getting to his spots, but right now he's looking to make plays, so he's giving up the basketball. There's going to come a point in this game where he's going to turn on offensively. You can tell he has a lively body tonight.
And what I like is when Durant is on him, they're running pick and rolls to try to make the long, thin body of Durant negotiate the screen. Instead of putting him in isolation situations where it's difficult for him to get a quality shot over Durant. I think the pick and roll is leading to some good, solid shot opportunities for the Lakers.
Al knocks down a pair, and the Lakers back up by 6. Durant having another rough shooting night so far from the field. Ibaka left open. Gasol with his 11th rebound of the first half. Under a minute remaining. Pass deflected by Westbrook. Westbrook on the drive. Felt the contact and threw it up in the basket as Josh Powell picks up the personal, and Kristich comes up hobbling.
And even though Westbrook got bailed out with a foul there, he had guys wide open. To try to teach this young player how to make the right decision earlier in that possession in transition, he had Jeff Green open on the wing. He's not a natural point guard. He didn't play the position, so there's still going to be a learning curve for him to be making the right decisions. Right there, Jeff Green on your left-hand side is wide open. He forced it into traffic, got the foul call, but it wasn't the right decision.
And I like that he talked about it early on. He says, hey, after practice, before practice, I spend time with Mo Cheeks, a guy that's a champion, former head coach and former great point guard for the 76ers and numerous other teams. He spends time with Mo, and Mo breaks down game film only to make him better.
Bryant looks up, backs in on Green. Durant goes to help. Bad pass from Bryant. Westbrook drives in, flips it up. Ibaka the rebound. Head fake, goes back up, blocked by Gasol, but a foul. Kobe Bryant upset with Pau Gasol. He felt that his pass was fine. Gasol just wasn't ready. He's yelling at him there.
But his turnovers are coming off of going up in the air to pass versus going up in the air to shoot. He and Gasol have had miscommunication, but when a player goes up in the air, it's got to be up in the air to shoot and then see a pass.
So we gave him credit a couple of minutes ago looking to make plays, but at some point you have to make the adjustment, look to be a scorer. This is one-on-one basketball. Either give it up or get a look, but you have to get rid of the basketball, and he's upset at Pau Gasol in that situation. I'd like to see Pau Gasol say, no, that's your fault. That's a bad play on your behalf. That's not on me.
Ibaka missed the first.
And by the way, I don't think that's happening. Okay, just to clarify that. I mean, a guy who lives at the Opera is not verbally challenging Kobe Bryant.
I would agree. Ibaka, 1 of 2, upset with himself for missing the first. Shot clock and game clock nearly identical as we wind down the first half. And this crowd, many of them on their feet. Cephalosha back in guarding Bryant. Bryant the drive. Tough shot. Knocks it down with 4.6 remaining. Westbrook fires it away. And that will end the first half. Trying to draw a foul. And Kobe Bryant with 14 points, already with more points than he's had in the previous 2 games, as the Lakers will go into the locker room with a 6-point lead. Kevin Durant and the Thunder shooting just 33% from the field. Durant just 2 of 11, but the free throws really helping him. Into the line 21 times. Kobe Bryant, the leading scorer with 14. He's with Lisa.
Thank you, Mike. Kobe, you guys were up 9. I asked Phil what happened. He said they went big, and that kind of changed the game. And in what way?
Well, you know, they got us in the early penalty, and you know, they were able to get some easy baskets off of our rotation.
Now, for you, Kevin Durant guarding you, you've been able to effectively come off the screens. What's the key to that working tonight for you?
It's getting spacing. That's all, spacing.
Thanks for your time. Mike.
Short and sweet, Lisa, as Bryant heads to the locker room. Halftime, and the Toyota Halftime Show is coming up. Mark Jones, Jamal Mashburn, Byron Scott. Atlanta Hawks win on the road to force a Game 7. They'll have the highlights. And the Nuggets trying to stay alive with a win on the road in Game 6 tonight in Utah. And a very important night in the NBA. 3 Game 6s, including here in Oklahoma City. The Thunder trying to keep their season alive and force a Game 7 Sunday in Los Angeles. Lakers trying to wrap it up. After 2 quarters, Lakers by 6. Oklahoma City Game 6. The Lakers trying to move on to the second round and eliminate the Thunder. As we get set to start the 3rd quarter, Kobe Bryant and his team leading by 6, 53-47. Hanging everyone with Mark Jackson and Jeff Van Gundy. Mike Breen on hand. Lakers did a solid job, jumped out early. Thunder came back, but then they finished strong. And again, a key for them is taking advantage of the size advantage that they do have.
Well, they're just so versatile, so talented, so big inside. It makes it difficult. And it really revolves around Bynum and Gasol. Here, Kobe Bryant rejects the pick and roll. His drive is going to bring Kristaps' help, but then Durant's got to get inside of Bynum, but he doesn't, and this starts the tip drill. Bynum misses, Gasol misses, and they both tip it in. And then as Gasol flashes from the weak side to the strong side, he catches it in the paint, too deep, and then a nice look-away bounce pass to the cutting Odom. And then finally, Bryant drives baseline, brings the help, and uses a little pocket bounce pass to Gasol. 13 assists, 5 turnovers. That's good offensive execution.
One of the reasons they're up 6. Meanwhile, Mark, you could say Oklahoma City should be happy they're only down 6 considering the shooting from Kevin Durant.
Well, absolutely. And offensively, he's getting quality looks. He's getting the looks that he wants on the offensive end. The bottom line now is you have to find a way to score.
So
Here's tonight's edition of Gatorade Cooler Talk. It's Kevin Durant on the offensive end, struggling, frustrated, getting quality looks. They got him moving without the basketball, just not able to knock these shots down. You got to give credit to the Lakers big guys also. Contesting shots without fouling, so they're not putting them to the line when they don't have to. Good news, if you're Kevin Durant, you're finding a way to score, because even though you're struggling, you're 9 for 10 from the free throw line. Struggling from the field, but scorers get to the free throw line until they're able to knock down shots.
Overall, the free throw shooting helping keep the Thunder in the game as we check in with Lisa.
Hey, Mike, well, Scott Brooks just told me exactly what Mark was saying. He said, we played hard in that first half. We just shot badly, and our guys have to know that in this second half, it can't be about correcting our offense. We still got to just keep fighting and keep playing defense. He says it's like fighting human nature. When you're not shooting well, it affects your defense. But if we keep defending, hopefully we'll have a stretch where we go 6 of 9, maybe 6 of 10, and that will carry us to the fourth quarter. Right?
Well, during the regular season, they were kind of a middle-of-the-road offensive team in terms of scoring and in terms of shooting. And they've really struggled shooting the ball. But they've had, as you talk about, Jeff, they've had very good looks. For many of these Oklahoma City Thunder, it's their first playoff experience. Westbrook well short, and Bryant the rebound. And again, this is a team that has shown they're just fearless despite their inexperience. But now with the pressure of an elimination game and trailing in the second half, will they start to feel it a little bit?
If you're the Lakers, it's time now to put some pressure on this Thunder team. Try to separate, make room for yourself.
Artest that one in and out. Nathan Kristich having his best game of the series, 11 points, 9 rebounds. And they've needed it with some of the other players struggling. Green just 1 of 6, and Durant, as we said, just 2 of 11. Green wide open, nails a 3. His second three-pointer.
That's a good job by Kevin Durant. ISO'd against Derek Fisher is not about me taking advantage of this. It's about making the right play. Jeff Green all by himself on the opposite side.
Cephalosha with the steal. Nice bounce pass, and Green with the finish. And it's back to 1 just like that. And Phil Jackson with a rare early third quarter timeout. Five quick points for Oklahoma City. And they're back within 1. Just over in a guy behind the third, Phil Jackson. You don't see him do this often, Jeff, certainly not during the regular season.
No, he manages the game from a timeout standpoint totally differently in the playoffs than he does in the regular season. Playoff, on the road, quick timeouts to break momentum.
Bryant for 3. That'll break momentum as Kobe Bryant able to convert his first three-pointer of the game.
And Mike, it seems to me that Andrew Bynum has a limp to his step here in the second half.
Bynum, who played so well in Game 5. A little more quiet here in Game 6. Durant's shot won't go.
And you're right, Coach, because even after that rebound, he went over the rim, got the rebound, and then Grimace coming down.
Bryant fakes, drives to the basket, stripped and fouled. Green hit him. And Kobe Bryant will shoot more free throws.
Oh, something I touched on a couple of minutes ago. It was an opportunity for the Lakers to try to create some space. Instead, they gave the Thunder life. But you see the look of Kobe Bryant's eyes right now. The last 2 possessions, he's finding a way to stop the bleeding. Somebody has got to send a message, because you don't want to be put in a situation where you have a Game 7 against a young team that does not know any better.
And also, it'll be on 1-day rest versus where they stand right now. The last 2 games, they've had 2 days rest between each of the last 2 games.
Again, they'd have to fly tonight and an afternoon game, a 12:30 start Los Angeles time if there's a Game 7. So a pretty quick turnaround. Ball batted around, and they get a new 24. Durant slow to get up. He's hobbling a bit. Cephalosha got a piece of it. Bryant still puts it in. And Durant with a slow jog up the floor.
And you can tell Kobe Bryant wants the basketball.
Durant inside. Count it, and a foul. Phil Jackson saying, hey, Bynum went straight up. As Durant went in aggressively, and he's got a chance for a three-point play.
You touched on it, Mike. Phil Jackson making the case. Missed assignment. That's not a foul. Andrew Bynum goes straight up, and Durant comes into his body. That's play on.
Durant 10 of 11 from the free throw line. Artest, nice fake. Gasol to Fisher. Lob it into Gasol. Not a good pass and a turnover. It's only number 7 for the Lakers. Thunder have just 4. Been a low turnover game so far. After 2 blowouts, it appears we're going to have a close one. Durant on the drive, flips it up, shot won't go, tip to Bryant. Cephalosha was in foul trouble in the first half. Now guarding Bryant again, beautiful left hand. 3rd time he's used the left hand on the drive. He's got 8 points already here in the period. We've played just over 3 minutes. Nice feed to Cephalosha. Westbrook his 5th assist. Durant picks up Bryant off the screen. Shot clock down to 6. Shot clock to 2. Bryant lost it. Got it back. He's going to have to force it up. Fires away. Nearly put it in. And a good rebound from Kristich in traffic. Westbrook pushing. They've got numbers. Feeds Green. Green the drive and the slam. Green with 7 points already here in the 3rd quarter. And the crowd fired up again. Doesn't take him much here. Westbrook with the steal. Ahead to Cephalosha. Tie game again. Fisher, that's a 3 with a hand in his face. Ball tipped. And it's going to be Laker ball. This crowd has been so great throughout this regular season as they watch the biggest turnaround in the NBA this year from 23 wins last year to 50. They have upped their energy and intensity here in the postseason, as you'd expect. Bynum, catch and finish. And again, the grimace, as you mentioned, Mark, he does it again. He's hurting right now.
And give him credit. Not asking out.
Not even looking at the bench.
Doing his job.
If I had that size advantage, I'd want the same thing.
And Westbrook and Green hook up. Jeff Green erupting here in this 3rd period with 9 of his 14 points. Fisher, that's a 2. And Kristich couldn't hold on. More second shot opportunities for the Lakers. Gasol is fouled by Westbrook, who thought he got fouled before. So 2 on Westbrook.
Well, just poor team defense, but good execution offensively. Running Green off a little flare screen and then curled it all the way to the rim for the lob.
Westbrook, by the way, has 5 assists here in this 3rd period. Bynum against Kristich. Can't back it, gets it back again, blocked, but a foul.
When he catches it with a foot in the paint, it's just too hard because he can get the first shot up, and even if he misses that, he gets a second shot. He's always wanting to come back to his jump hook. Misses, but he's right there. Great length. And I'm not sure why that's not a shooting foul.
They called it on Cephalosha, guess on the rebound. Again, they go in, and a 3-second violation called on Bynum. We're at the midway point of the third quarter. Oklahoma City trying to force that game 7. You see the turnovers here in the period. Westbrook, by the way, 9 points, 8 assists, doesn't have a turnover in the game. After 8 in game 5. Cephalosha way off. This is the 3, and Gasol the rebound, his 13th. Bryant looking, falling away. Oh, Kobe Bryant with 24. And he's got 10 here in the period. Scotty Brooks wants a timeout. They like the up-tempo, Mark Jackson.
This is their best chance of winning this basketball game, getting stops and then off to the races. Give this Oak City team a lot of credit. Like America, they've decided to go green. Talk about hops and finishing in transition.
Nice. Of blue here at the Ford Center, watching Kobe Bryant come alive.
But he knows he's got the ultimate momentum breaker. Kobe Bryant, 3 left-handed running hooks. Shows his versatility. Tough start, 3 for 11 in the first quarter, 6 for 7 since. Really playing efficient basketball offensively over the last 2 quarters.
In games 4 and 5, he shot 19 field goals. And he's got 18 attempts here tonight. Much more aggressive offensively as Bynum sitting down. He seems to be fine, Mark, but there's no question he was not running right.
No, obviously he's not 100%. There's certainly something wrong with him. That's a couple of times on the way down.
Kristich can't finish. 2-point Laker lead as we approach the 5-minute mark here in the third. Cephalosha got some votes for Defensive Player of the Year. Back on Bryant. Artest fouled on the entry pass. They're not in the penalty yet. That's the 3rd on Durant. And the 14th foul.
That's a good read. They're trying to get Kobe Bryant on the weak side all by himself. But a good job of forcing Kevin Durant to play defense against Artest.
Artest wearing that padding you see on his left shoulder. Can't get that to fall. Rebound, Kristich. Looks like a shoulder pad. Westbrook gets a running start. Up and under. And he draws the foul. Odom hit him. 3 on Odom. More free throws for Westbrook. Russell Westbrook, again another LA guy who grew up in Long Beach, California. Said he liked the Lakers, wasn't a rabid Laker fan, and loved Magic Johnson, even though he didn't see him play really as a kid. Doesn't remember, watched a lot of tape, and said Magic was one of his guys. And then the 2 years at UCLA. But his favorite player, he said, as a kid when he was really starting to play, was Pau Gasol, which was kind of surprising, Mark.
Very surprising. He said Pau Gasol and Rasheed Wallace. He didn't even have an explanation for it. He said both of those guys, especially Gasol, the way he does everything on the floor, he really appreciates.
Like what he said, he goes, both of them are great teammates. That's one of the reasons he liked both of them. Bryant for 3, puts it in. Kobe Bryant from downtown. He's got 13 points here in this third quarter.
I had an argument with a friend of mine after one of the Laker games. Dougie, I'll call him out. He said Bryant needs to give up the basketball more. What you don't understand is there are certain games that Robin can't win you. Batman has got to find a way to get it done if you're going to win.
Tough shot there from Batman. He thought he was fouled. James Harden with a rebound. Durant sets a 3. Won't go. Durant 3 for 16 from the field as the ball last touched by Collison. You're the Thunder. You got to figure out you're only down 3 and Durant having a nightmare shooting game.
And Dougie's at home saying Durant should pass more. Hey, Dougie's one of those guys that just, if it's not working, we're going to go to plan B. Sometimes plan A is your best plan, even when it's not going great.
And we've been in situations, coaches, where you either coached or played with guys that didn't want no parts of the moment.
Odom on the finish, and it's back to 5 for the Lakers. Lamar Odom 9 points off the bench as Bynum still sits. Westbrook, Bryant with the foul. 2 fouls on Kobe Bryant. Greg Willard not listening. Phil Jackson objects as well.
Defensively, you got to make the adjustment. If you realize Kobe Bryant is in an attack mode looking to make plays, you got to close out to his body. That's poor defense by Kevin Durant, allowing him to lock, to lift, and get a bird's eye view at the rim.
Westbrook now 4 of 5 from the free throw line. Well, they agreed on something. I don't know what.
Well, I think Greg Willard, he has a very good demeanor about him. And I think he might have thought, hey, I might have missed that. Westbrook has learned the Fisher flop on the jump shot. Act like you've been fouled, even when the contact is minimal.
Westbrook, who's averaging over 20 a game in this series, now has 13 to go along with the 8 assists. Bryant looking to score another 3, knocks it down again. Kobe Bryant 16 points now in the third quarter and 30 for the game.
And that's why it's not about defense. I'll take great O over great D any day of the week. When a guy has a rhythm, there's not much you can do other than call for help.
Well, he just picked up his 3rd foul. Not happy with it again. And we'll have a timeout. Kobe Bryant erupting, but the Thunder hanging around.
Dougie's singing a different tune in LA now. Kobe Bryant knocking in another 3. Hey, this is the moment he is made for right here, right now.
The last 2 games has erupted here in the third. 30 now for the game, and Durant just 3 of 16, yet they're only down by 6.
Mike, you know, you're talking about good nutrition. You just can't get tater tots at school anymore. You know, they have eliminated the tater tot now. It's all greens and healthy. Man, I'm glad I grew up when I did.
There's nothing better than a tater tot. Kevin Durant on the drive, trying to force it in. Collison gets it. Won't go. Gasol the rebound. And Durant slow to get up. Artest left open. Shannon Brown on the drive. And stolen by Harden.
And Kobe Bryant rolling, just like what happened with Shannon Brown. He got taken out. Kobe's resting now, even though he had 16 here in the third.
I think Phil Jackson is doing that, trying to make sure he's fresh in the 4th quarter. So I would fully expect to see him bring him back very early to start the 4th.
Also, Bryant does have 4 fouls. He picked up those 2 quick ones. As Gasol's shot, that won't go. Kevin Durant continues to go to the basket attacking. Not been able to draw the fouls here in the third quarter. He's now 3 for 18 from the field. Laker defense has done a good job here in the third against him.
And one thing that's very noticeable, the big guys of the Lakers, they're going straight up without fouling Durant.
Ibaka on the move inside. Pretty setup from Harden.
And I give the credit to the Lakers, but also Durant has missed makeable shots.
Gasol wants it. Collison guarding in. Back out to Brown. Page drive, stripped by Harden. Brown nearly gets it, but tips it to Harden and throws it down. Back to 2. Harden with the steal and then the finish. Fisher trying to silence the crowd. Won't go. Fisher bumps into Durant and a foul. And the Lakers in the penalty. Now Durant will go to the free throw line. Not a smart play from Derek Fisher.
Turning the basketball over. Good job of finishing. Not trying to finesse it, but finish it. James Harden with the dunk over Shannon Brown. Welcome to my poster.
Durant 10 of 11 from the free throw line. Fisher talking with Kenny Maurer after picking up his 4th foul.
And I think Kenny Maurer should be yelling at Derek Fisher. That's a stupid foul. Don't come over and yell at me.
You're 100% right, because it's not whether you foul or not. You shouldn't even have been in that position. Get back, transition defense, and stop the basketball.
Thunder come back to tie it again. They've trailed by as many as 9 in the first half, by as many as 7 here in the 3rd quarter. Artest. Fisher will try another 3. That's good. Derek Fisher. Surprise, surprise, another big playoff 3-pointer.
The veteran, not afraid of the moment, had just missed the shot, but not going to turn down open looks.
9 points, 5 assists for Fisher. Shot clock turned off. Westbrook. Ibaka, the jump shot. That won't go. Gasol the rebound. And the 3rd quarter comes to an end. Kobe Bryant with 16 points in that 3rd quarter, as he wants his team to wrap this series up and advance to the conference semifinals. Bryant now 30 points for the game. A terrific 3rd period. As we head to the 4th quarter, Oklahoma City wanting to make sure it's not the final quarter of their season.
Welcome back to the Ford Center in Oklahoma City, where the Thunder are down by 3. Scott, it's going to come down to these last 12 minutes. Kevin Durant so far not shooting well from the field. What do you got to see from him in this 4th quarter?
Well, we just got to keep working for good shots. You know, he's missed some good shots. He took a couple of bad ones. We just got to set better screens for him. He has to come off better.
Kobe Bryant erupted for 16 points in that 3rd quarter. What do you have to do to keep him from beating him?
Well, we got to crowd the ball. You know, he's filling it right now. He's making threes. He's making drives to the basket. We got to crowd the paint on him.
Thank you very much.
All right, Lisa, the 4th quarter, the crowd is ready. They've become maybe the loudest crowd in the NBA. Even Phil Jackson says it's a daunting noise. Kobe Bryant said games 3 and 4 were some of the loudest crowds he's ever played in front of here at this sold-out Ford Center. And they're going to watch their Oklahoma City Thunder, they hope, not for the final time this season. They trail by 3. Trail 3 games to 2 in this best-of-7 series. Westbrook going for the steal. Bynum back in the game. Farmar to Walton. Quick pass. Shot clock down to 6. Odom the drive. Brown a straight on 3. That's good. Shannon Brown with a big shot, and he has played well. 11 points off the bench.
That's a big shot, especially the last 2 possessions. I thought Shannon Brown turned down jump shots. Good job of stepping in rhythm for that one.
And that's the 10th 3-pointer for the Lakers. Harden can't answer. An air ball from Harden.
And you see just how fragile it is in the NBA. Oklahoma City defended terrifically. Harden contested Shannon Brown, but he knocked it in. There, a well-executed play by Oklahoma City. Wide open, and he airballs it.
Farmar way off. Back-to-back air balls as Green brings it up. Green came alive in the 3rd quarter. He's had a rough series shooting the basketball. Played well defensively. Shot clock down to 9. Westbrook up top. Green too strong. Ibaka the rebound. Back up and in. Serge Ibaka with 10 points and 6 rebounds. Nearly knocked away. Ibaka, good job defensively again. Good job by Harden. Oh, he reached in. He moved his feet nicely and reached in and got called for the foul as we listen to a Scotty Brooks huddle.
Whatever you have in your heart, you got to give it to the team. For 12 minutes, there ain't no time to be fatigued. There ain't no time not to close out. There ain't no time not to get rebounds. Rebound the ball with everything you got. Defend with everything you got. Make the extra pass. We're going to get this lead, and then we're going to go away.
Mark, you played a lot of big games as the shot clock's down to 1. Odom just gets it off, and a 24-second violation. When you're in a situation like this in an elimination game, is it on your mind as you're going up and down the floor that this could be the final game of the season, or you're just so immersed that you're not thinking that way?
Well, you're into the moment. You realize we have to find a way to keep the season going. So although you realize it's an elimination situation, you're not thinking it's over. You're thinking sustaining the season and keeping it going.
Durant. Such a struggle shooting the ball as Brown knocks it out. Kevin Durant, 3 of 18 from the field. He's managed 19 points because of all his free throws. You're just waiting for him to hit a big shot. And that's his father, Wayne, and his mom, Wanda Pratt. So important in his life. He talks so much about how his mom taught him all his humility. He was one of the more humble superstars you'll find.
They should be extremely proud about the young man that they raised. The way he conducts himself, a class act.
Eric Maynor is in. Westbrook getting a break. Maynor, tough shot, won't go. And a 24-second violation at the other end.
I think this will set a air ball record for a playoff game. There's been 4 air balls in just a little over 2 minutes.
Westbrook getting a breather. Meanwhile, here in this important game 6, Phil Jackson has 4 of his bench players on the floor, and another 3-second violation called against Andrew Bynum. That's the second one of the second half.
And Bynum's doing a poor job of having the clock in his head, realizing 1, 2, 3, get out of the paint.
Foul call on Shannon Brown, over-aggressive on his post defense on Durant. That's his second and the team's first.
And I'm going to say this, I may post Jeff Green against Luke Walton.
Shannon Brown and Durant yapping at each other.
I really may go to that matchup right now versus the Shannon Brown matchup, even as he's coming out. Because Durant, to me right now, has a better chance of getting a spot up than he does a post-up.
Still can't get it to go. 3 for 19 with the NBA's leading scorer.
And what I don't like is after missing that shot, backpedaling and shaking his head. You are too good of a scorer as Luke Walton knocks down that shot and too great of a player to be frustrated. We don't see Kobe Bryant shaking his head. Continue to do exactly what you do. Keep your foot on the gas pedal, young fella.
6-point lead, 3 minutes gone by here in the 4th. And Durant, he does that so well. Odom leaned in, and he draws the foul by lifting up a shot through the arms of Odom, who picks up his 4th. Well, he hasn't been shooting from the field well, to say the least, but he's knocking down his free throws. He'll get 2 when we come back. They love their Thunder in Oklahoma City. Those who couldn't get into the Ford Center, over 1,000 outside watching a big screen, joining together, hoping this is not the final game for their young team, who trail by 6 with still plenty of time remaining, despite Durant. 3 for 19, Mark.
And you want to give credit to the initial defender, but I love watching the bigs for the Lakers contesting without fouling. That's a great job of being in position, and then when you get a look, a mismatch on the perimeter, missing a spot-up jump shot. You take a look at the shot chart, and Coach, you talked about it. This is a make-or-miss league. Getting quality looks, just not knocking them down. But with great scorers, you're 1 shot away from being hot once again.
But he's been able to get to the line despite all those drives we just showed you there. It was good defense. Yeah, that is his 14th free throw attempt, with number 15 coming up here.
You got to get on to the next play. If you're Kevin Durant, you said it earlier, Mark, and I agree with you. There's no time to be frustrated. There's nothing you can do about what's happened. Make the next one, believe. And I am surprised Kobe Bryant's not back in the game yet, even with the 4 fouls.
This unit's played well. Walton hits a 3. Luke Walton who had 1 field goal in the first 5 games combined, has 2 here in this 4th quarter. 2 big buckets. And this crowd crazy just a couple of minutes ago. Got a little quiet. Maynard. Inside pass to Collison. Nice feed from Maynard.
Good job by Maynard being aggressive. Don't just make it the Kevin Durant show, forcing him to make every play. Somebody else has got to step up and make a play.
Odom, he's the facilitator on this second unit. Bynum with 5 on the shot clock. Flips it up. Good defense from Collison. Ibaka with another rebound, his 7th. Maynard's going to come out on the next whistle, trying to do something again. Good defense from Odom. And now Russell Westbrook will return for the Thunder. Westbrook 13 points, 8 assists. Derek Fisher also comes back in. Kobe Bryant stays on the Laker bench.
Tell you what, Kobe Bryant's better than me. I would be sitting right next to Phil Jackson. I tell Brian Shaw, move over. I got to introduce myself to this guy.
I'd be sitting in his lap. We're getting next to him.
Westbrook to Durant. Shot clock at 5. Durant's jumper still won't go. Ibaka the rebound, and a held ball with Odom and Ibaka. Kevin Durant, again, a good open look. He's now 3 for 20.
Well, I love this contest. This is almost Shane Battier-like when he defended Kobe Bryant. This is contestant to the face. It's a good job by Ron Artest, and then I love the big guys battling underneath, trying to get the basketball. But we've seen this in the past, contesting without fouling. So goes to the face of Kevin Durant. That's outstanding defense.
Those are the shots, though, he normally hits.
If you're Scott Brooks and you're analyzing this game tomorrow, whether it's a win or a loss, you can live with the shots that Durant has had tonight.
Fisher on the drive. Right-handed, puts it in.
That's a first for me. I have never seen Derek Fisher finish with his right hand. That's a great shot under duress.
And he's got 11 points. The lead back up to 7. 5 minutes gone by here in the 4th. Durant's pass deflected by Fisher. Walton picks it up. And the Lakers will settle down up by 7. 6:45 remaining. Walton wants to post up Westbrook. Shot clock at 6. Odom. Not a great shot there as Westbrook the rebound. Westbrook straight on 3. Knocks it down. Big bucket from Westbrook. And it's back to 4. Timeout Lakers.
Very good screen by Nick Collison to free up Westbrook. This is not his best shot, but he knocks it in when they needed it most. And then, hello, I've got something new on the menu. Right hand running hook.
6:21 remaining in the 4th. The Thunder down by 4. Right now the Lakers leading 86-82 with 6:21 remaining, trying to close out this series in 6 games. Is Marion Jones soon to be back playing in the WNBA, taking in the action. And Barry Switzer, a veteran coach, he's got a championship ring. That's a big ring as we look at our NBA calendar. Tomorrow night on TNT, Game 1, Boston at Cleveland. And ABC Sunday, we've got 1 Game 7, maybe another, or will it be a Game 1? And then ESPN next Friday, Cleveland, Boston Game 3, Phoenix and San Antonio Game 3 as the 2010 playoffs continue. Here in Oklahoma City, they want them to continue after tonight as their team is facing elimination. Kobe Bryant back in the game. Fisher on the drive, out to Artest, open 3, puts it in. Artest nails the 3-pointer, and the Lakers back up by 7.
Phil Jackson's got to be excited because he's gotten quality minutes from a lot of different guys. His bench stepped up, allowing him to give a long breather to Bryant and also Gasol. Big minutes by a lot of big-time guys.
Lakers 12 3-pointers, 12 of 23. Some great long-distance shooting. Green Jeff Green with his best game of the series. He's got 16.
That's a bad job by Kobe Bryant. You want to close out and make Green a shooter as opposed to what he does best, finishing at the rim.
Gasol back in as well. Artest trying to find some room. Shot clock at 4. Shot clock at 2. Artest leans in, puts up the jumper, and puts it in. Ron Artest, back-to-back big buckets.
It's about shot making. That's a horrible offensive possession that's bailed out by an incredible shot.
Westbrook to the basket, trying to draw the foul, wouldn't go. And Ibaka called for a reach-in. It's only the second team foul against Oklahoma City.
The ball stayed on one side of the floor. Shot fake. Green loses defensive discipline, but still Artest knocked it in. And then this is great offense. Good drive by Fisher. Good spacing by Artest. As the help came, knocked the jumper down.
Lakers 29% from 3 in the series before tonight. They're 12 of 23 as we have an offensive foul call on Pau Gasol. That's his second. Still plenty of time remaining with the Thunder down 7. Durant finally gets one to go. 3 for 20 before that three-pointer, and it's back to 4. Mom and Dad cheering on. Artest lost it out of bounds. And just like that, the crowd once again fired up. Westbrook has had a strong game. Durant drives, kicks it out. Good open look for Green. Short. Ball tipped. Still loose, knocked out of bounds. The officials looking to help each other. And white ball says Billy Kennedy. Greg Willard and Kenny Maurer, neither one saw it. Kennedy comes out and says it's Oklahoma City basketball. Boy, that's close. Westbrook on the pull-up. Puts it in. 2-point game. The Thunder won't go down without a fight.
This has got to be Kobe Bryant somewhere, and I would put him in a pick and roll.
Durant is on Bryant. Doesn't go for the fake. Bryant falling away. Tough shot. Durant the rebound. Artest back on Durant. Westbrook the pull-up. In and out. That one halfway down. Collison lost it. Westbrook goes up. Banks it in. Tie game. And a foul.
So important if you want to win the basketball game. Find a way to grind it out until things begin to turn. And then force the issue. Pursuing the basketball, coming up with the offensive rebound, and then going to the line for the possible three-point play.
Their first lead since early in the second quarter. 21 for Westbrook. They come back from 7 down here in the fourth as we're under 3 minutes to play. Gasol stripped by Green. And Westbrook will reset. Scott Brooks wants a timeout. And now they see him and hear him. Oh, this crowd's so loud. Brooks was screaming at Greg Willard, the official, but he had no shot at hearing him. Hard to hear you, Mark. It's deafening here at the Ford Center as Oklahoma City, down 7 with 4.5 to go, has gone on an 8-0 run in less than 2 minutes.
Find a way to win the ball game. Kevin Durant, free at last, knocks down a jumper. Westbrook, offensively, tough jumper. Then you got to do it defensively also. One-on-one against Kobe Bryant. Your job is to force him into a tough one, live with the results. Give yourself a chance. Pursuing the basketball, the basket, and the foul. Mike, this place is loud.
After that last basket, it was 112, so approaching some unbelievable decibel levels. As Westbrook's about to inbound the ball, he turns to the fans behind him and goes, shh, shh.
So I think I have a workman's comp claim coming. You know what I mean? If my hearing goes.
Durant. Shot clock at 6. Durant, the drive, goes to the basket, lays it in. Thunder by 3, their largest lead of the night. Bryant, Durant fights over the screen, fights over again. Kobe Bryant puts it in. What a tough shot from Kobe Bryant. He's got 32. Two minutes remaining here in the fourth, perhaps in the Thunder season. Westbrook pulls up way short. Air ball, Collison blocked by Odom. Lamar Odom with his 3rd rejection of the game.
And I like this going pick and roll with Bryant and Gasol, forcing the Thunder defense.
Bryant jump shot, hand in his face, won't go. Ball tipped and taken by Gasol. Artest spots up three-pointer. That misses. Ibaka the rebound.
And this is not the time to play late in the clock. You got to get it up and get into your offense quicker. It's already under 12.
Both teams have multiple timeouts. Both teams have a foul to give. Durant to Westbrook. Puts up the 3. Off the mark. Odom the rebound. Another big play from Lamar Odom.
But coach is so right. A bad offensive trip. Didn't get into their stuff quick enough and didn't run a quality possession.
The Thunder clinging to a 1-point lead. And a foul is called. They're going to call it against Durant. That's 4 on Durant. And again, the Thunder had a foul to give.
Well, very good screen set by Fisher. Durant driving through the screen.
Fisher driving back. He'll have a timeout with 47.3 seconds remaining. Kobe Bryant has been brilliant tonight with 32 points, especially here in the second half, as they try and wrap this series up. Laker ball when we return. Standing most of this fourth quarter as they're watching their Thunder try and hold off the Lakers. Right now, Oklahoma City a 1-point lead. There you see the timeout situation. LA down to just 1 timeout left. They have a foul to give. 14 left on the shot clock as they inbound. Fisher down to Gasol. Pau Gasol, left-handed shot, rolls off, no good. Westbrook the rebound.
13-second differential, so they don't need to foul. And again, I would not run this shot clock down.
Durant fakes, drives, leans in, finds Westbrook, short jumper, won't go. Gasol had it, lost it, picked up by Bryant.
And I like this, no timeout. Put the ball in the best player on the floor's hand and live with the results.
They have a timeout remaining, won't use it. No fouls to give here.
You got to double him. You cannot leave him one-on-one.
Bryant for the lead, misses. Gasol banks it in with 0.5 of a second remaining. Lakers by 1. And the Thunder call timeout. Pau Gasol with the follow. And now the officials will gather and see how much time to put on the clock or leave it at 0.5. What a big play from Pau Gasol, his 18th rebound of the game, and it gives the Lakers the 1-point lead.
Just a veteran play. Not falling in love with what's going on. It's not about Kobe Bryant. It's about attacking the offensive board. So Pau Gasol puts himself in position to get the easy putback. Big-time play by Pau Gasol.
But Nick Collison was rotating over, and he just stood and watched. You got to rotate back to Gasol's body.
And Gasol, again, 18 rebounds. Hasn't scored a lot, just 9 points, but the biggest play of the night off the Kobe Bryant miss. The Thunder played Bryant beautifully, made him take a tough shot, and now it looks like it's going to remain 0.5 of a second on the floor. With the timeout, the Thunder can now inbound. 0.5 is enough time for a catch and shoot, so you can get off a quality shot in 0.5.
And Russell Westbrook has the athletic ability to catch a lob. And if you remember last year in the finals, the Orlando Magic got a lob to Courtney Lee with very little time as well. So you have to be able to defend all 5 positions here.
And Kevin Durant has one of the quickest releases in the league.
Well, that's the point I was about to make. You also have a legitimate 7-footer that's one of the best catch-and-shoot guys in basketball. So I'd say some misdirection stuff, and you will have options, plenty of time to get a quality look.
Now, the Lakers do have a foul to give, but with 0.5 of a second, you can't even be thinking that way, right?
No, because you're going to be going up into whatever shot you've got. So right here, the foul to give is somewhat meaningless.
And something we've seen in the past, Lamar Odom or Andrew Bynum, a Laker big, doing an outstanding job in the past, defending the guy taking the ball to bounds. Phil Jackson is a master at that.
So this wonderful season for the youngest team in the NBA, the Oklahoma City Thunder will come down to this one final play with 0.5 of a second remaining. Bynum will guard Cephalosha on the inbound. Westbrook, Green, Durant, and Collison out there. Oklahoma City still has timeout. They can call another timeout as they check the defensive alignment here. Cephalosha looking, finds Westbrook, puts it up at the buzzer, off the rim, and the Lakers win and advance to the second round. A thriller here in Oklahoma City and a crushing defeat for the Thunder. And listen to these fans right away giving their team a standing ovation. What a wonderful tribute from these fans here in Oklahoma City. They've been so terrific and so loud, especially during this playoff series, and it came down to this one final play.
Well, exactly what we talked about. Misdirection, tried to get Westbrook on the lob, and then after all the other options fell apart, Westbrook in the corner. See Kevin Durant setting screens, screen set for him. Good job by Artest, paying attention to the most dangerous guy on the floor, and then Durant, broken-hearted, season over.
Well, the Oklahoma City Thunder came back from a 7-point deficit with 4.5 remaining. Actually took a 3-point lead. But here, Lakers down by 1. Bryant misses Pau Gasol with the follow with 0.5 of a second remaining. And the Lakers survive a very difficult 6-game series with a huge road win. Kobe Bryant leading the way with 32, and he's with Lisa.
Thanks, Mike. Kobe, I saw you say something to Kevin Durant and to Russell Westbrook. What did you say to those guys?
I just said they're incredible basketball players, and for them to keep working, and they're going to be a team that we're going to have to deal with for years to come.
What made this team, this young team, seemingly overmatched team, such a tough out?
Well, they're extremely well coached. They execute very well. And they have a lot of talent that plays well together.
You guys were up 7 with 4.5 to go. What changed for you guys to make it so close?
Well, they didn't want to lose. They came with a lot of effort, a lot of energy. They made big shots, made big plays, and put us on our heels.
The last 2 plays, first when you put it up and missed, what were you thinking when it?
That was such an easy look for me. I mean, it felt good. I was just happy Powell continued to play and got the offensive rebound.
Now, of course, we all know Derek Fisher taught us that 0.5 is certainly enough time. What was your defensive strategy on that last play?
Just protect the rim. Protect the rim. We didn't want to get anything over the top.
When it left his hands?
It looked good, actually. It looked good. I'm just glad it went short.
All right, thanks for your time. Congratulations. Mike.
All right, Lisa, Lakers will now play the winner of the Utah-Denver series, which could be decided tonight. They're playing Game 6 in Utah with the Jazz leading 3-2. As for the Thunder, they had expected improvement this year, but they didn't expect this quantum leap. And what a great first playoff experience for many of that young Thunder roster as they fall in 6 games to the defending champs. Once again, our final score, the Lakers 95, the Thunder 94. They win the series in 6 and advance to the second round. For complete post-game coverage of tonight's game, stay tuned for ESPN, the Sports Center. As the Thunder fans with a wonderful tribute to their team that they cheered all season long. From Mark Jackson, Jeff Van Gundy, Lisa Salters, and our entire ESPN crew, this is Mike Breen saying so long from Oklahoma City. The defending champs still alive as they advance to the second round.